Hey folks, welcome back to another sofa sermon. I'm not actually on my sofa today, but I will say one thing. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope yesterday you had a very fun Star Wars day. But let's see what God's got for us today. Roll the intro. So the area of the Bible that I want to talk about today comes from John 21:15-25, and I'm not going to read all of that at all, but I would like to read one key verse, which is verse 16, which says, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you," Jesus said, "take care of my sheep." Jesus at this point was talking to Peter and was challenging him to take care of his followers, even after Jesus was gone, after dying on the cross. He challenges us to do exactly the same. If we truly love Jesus, this challenge, this mandate almost that Jesus sets down for Peter should affect our actions and our state of mind even today. In particular, it should motivate us to care for other people. I actually spoke about this on Sunday morning. If you want, you can go back and check the live stream. But if someone is struggling, particularly at the moment with the coronavirus, the lockdown, everything, then reach out to them, because that's what Jesus calls you to do. But when we start to view other people and the world as a whole, so of all of creation as God's creation and designed and made by him, and that Jesus loved them so much that he went to the cross and died for them, then we should start to see just how valuable people, things, and our mental health and things like that are, and being there for one another. It's very likely that at some point in our life we've benefited from a fellow Christian, mentor or friend, or just someone that we look up to being there for us and supporting us when we needed it the most. And I'm sure we can all think of probably numerous situations where that is prevalent in our lives. And at one time or another, we also have to be ready to return the favour. We have to be ready to support others in the same way that other people should support us. Now, for a personal story time, I pass it over to Storytime Jack. For those of you that know me, you'll know that one of the big things that has really defined my life was the fact that I decided to leave school early. I still continued on with my education to an A-level level, but I did decide to leave secondary school early. And that was a very scary experience, because I'd never known anybody that had flunked out of school before. And I was always thinking that if I did that, then I'd never achieve anything. That's a bit depressing, but it was the truth. And I was, when I quit school, I thought that it may have been the wrong decision. It may have been the worst thing that I'd ever done. It may be that I'd ruined my life and I could never get it back on track, and that was it. I was just doomed to failure from their point on. And that is just completely untrue. And I'm not saying, kids, that you should flunk out of school, because the next part of what I'm going to say is very important, and listen to that before you get on the phone and say, "School, I'm never coming back." But me leaving school was an experience that helped me. Number one, because it meant that I could continue on with my education, because I felt like I couldn't carry on going to school. I could carry on my education, but also it was an experience that God uses in my life every single day, because it gives me two perspectives on life that I may not have got if I didn't leave school. And the first perspective is, number one, how important school, education and, you know, the norm of going to school, how important that is to the majority of children in our country and across the world. But number two, it showed me that school and classrooms are not the only way of learning, that the majority of learning that we do is through experience, and this is one of the experiences that has taught me the most in my life. I thought that when I left school, it was a bad decision, or it could have been a bad decision. But now I look back at it, and it really gives me a very, very unique insight into the young people that I work with every single day. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a youth worker. You know, it really gives me a unique insight to see both sides. Number one, that school's important, and obviously parents nearly always go, you need to go to school. But also it gives me the unique insight that, you know, the kids, as much as they might not like school, there is a lot of learning to be done outside of school as well. So do not quit school. This is not what I'm saying, okay? Do not go onto the phone now and ring up your teachers and say, I'm never coming in, goodbye. Please don't do that. That's not what I'm encouraging you to do. But what I am encouraging you to do is think about the negative experiences in your life. Not to dwell upon them, but just that this was a negative experience in my life. I felt that I was going to struggle. And it was probably more difficult than just going to school like a normal person. But our negative experiences can be used to help support and engage and encourage other people. Peter, for example, like in the bit that we read, turned his back on Jesus. In today's reading that I mentioned, he sees Jesus' grace and he sees Jesus welcome him back. Perhaps that experience made Peter humbler, wiser, more patient, and a better leader, which would have helped him in his following ministry that he then went on to do. In the same way that God can use our past struggles to make us more effective, in the same way, God can do those things. God can use our struggles to make us more effective in what we do and in helping and supporting the other people around us. So my final 2 points are this. We need to be supporting each other right now, using the lessons of our past to help those shape their future, to be there to support those who are struggling, for those who are finding it difficult right now, particularly in the lockdown, as I say, to be there for them and use the past experience. And God does that. He uses our past negative experience and turns them into good and helps us to help others. And number two is let this experience of lockdown and quarantine affect and influence your entire life to come. You know, this is something I've never seen before. This is something that a majority of young people particularly will have never seen anything like this before. You know, no war, no quarantine, no rationing. I know we don't have anything like that. We have quarantine, but we don't have like rationing and things. But we've never seen anything on such a global scale, and I certainly haven't. So let this experience of lockdown and quarantine teach you something. And God will bring us through this, and he will use this experience to help us in the future. So if you're sat here thinking, why is God doing this? You are yet to see the fruit of why God is yet to bring a resolution to this situation. So take notes as to what's going on, because at some point in your life, you will look back on this, and there will be a reason as to why God has put you in every negative situation. Because, like it or not, I left school, I thought I'd done wrong, but yet it's the thing that has defined me most as a person, and it's probably the lesson that I teach most to young people. School is important, but it's not the only way to learn. And I'm not saying quit school, but it really was a defining thing in my life, but it didn't seem like it at the time. And that's the way that God works. So do not fret, take notes, and use this experience to help and encourage other people in the future, and continues to help and encourage each other right now. Hey, thank you so much for watching another Sofa sermon. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please do not forget to reach out to those people that mean things to you now, particularly those that are struggling, those that are on their own, you know, those people, particularly in our congregation as well. We'll be reaching out to those and making sure that we spend some time with them. It's quite a lonely time, and I just hope that this makes you feel a little bit less alone. I hope that you can leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it, and I will get back to all of the comments. And if you want to talk to me at any other point, leave a comment and I will get back to it, okay? So thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook as well, at Grimsby Nazarene. There will be posting lots of things there that you can do throughout the day, and I hope to see you guys soon. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you. Bye. Hey, you know what? I think that one turned out okay. Yeah, I'm not going to record that one again.